I want to highlight something, and I want to give credit to somebody, and that is Julius Randle. Because we just talked about Karl Anthony Towns, and it just so happened that Karl Anthony Towns was traded from the Minnesota Timberwolves, and Julius Randle was pretty much the prize piece that got traded to the Timberwolves from New York. You can talk about a lot. And when we talked about this Timberwolves when we talked about the Timberwolves and Warriors series, it was highlighted a lot, obviously, that Steph Curry was injured. It was also highlighted that Jimmy Butler just wasn't living up to that playoff Jimmy title. It's moniker, the word I was looking for. Moniker. But like I said, this is the episode of Robins. The Timberwolves are sitting comfortably in the Western Conference Finals waiting for the winner of the Thunder and Nuggets because of Julius Randle. Yes, Anthony Edwards is Anthony Edwards. But it goes back to, you know what your stars are going to get. You know what your stars are going to do. The wild card in that was which Robin was going to be better. Obviously, with Steph Curry being out, that changed a lot. But who was going to be better between Jimmy Butler and Julius Randle? Now, remember, going into this playoffs, Julius Randle has not had a good playoff history at all. In fact, he has picked the worst times to have some of his worst games in the playoffs. And that was always the question mark going into when we talk about this Timberwolves team, because obviously I didn't think he was going to be the best Robin when talking about the Lakers, because you had Luka and LeBron, but he had a chance to be the better Robin between Jimmy Butler and him, and I just didn't think he was going to win that. He obviously did. Julius Randle is the main reason why the Timberwolves advanced. When you talk about his size, when you talk about his shooting ability, while yes, his the knock on him is he's just going to force himself left. But Julius Randle has been, I'm not going to say the best player for the Timberwolves. That's obviously Anthony Edwards, but he's probably been the most consistent player this entire playoffs when we talk about the Timberwolves. There have been games where Anthony Edwards just hasn't had it. Hell, there was games against the Warriors where Anthony Edwards was just terrible, at least terrible majority of the game. But it was Julius Randle and his aggressiveness and his shooting and his defense, which I didn't think that he's never really been the defender. Julius Randle has been great. And when we talk about, I want to focus a little bit on the trade. Obviously, it's happened. It's over with. Both teams are happy with what they had. But that's kind of what I want to focus on. This is a very rare occasion where a trade works in the favor heavily on both sides. You usually see when you trade someone with the stature, with the skill of a Karl Anthony Towns, you usually don't get the same in return. And when you looked at that trade, nobody thought that Julius Randle was on the same level as Karl Anthony Towns. In fact, if you just take skill, Julius Randle is not on the same level as Karl Anthony Towns. So, and then obviously you sweeten the pot, you get someone like Dante DiVincenzo, who was uber important for the Timberwolves against the Warriors. But we talk about Robins, and I said that Karl Anthony Towns is going to be the main reason either the Knicks advance to the finals or they don't advance to the finals. When I look at this Nuggets and I look at this Thunder team, Julius Randle was going to be a very important piece. Julius Randle might be the piece. This is the rare occasion where both the trade works out immensely for both teams. Because the Timberwolves wouldn't be here, obviously, without Anthony Edwards, but they wouldn't be here in this position if Julius Randle didn't play to the capability that he could against the Warriors. I don't care if Steph Curry played or not. A lot of those games where Golden State kept it close, they were won because of Julius Randle. And we see the impact that Karl Anthony Towns has for this Knicks team. Again, this is one of the rare occasions where both the trade worked out perfectly for both teams. Like in the immediate. It's not like you get what's a trade? You get someone like a Jimmy Butler and the Heat get Andrew Wiggins and it worked. No. Obviously the Heat didn't make it out. They got swept. No offense to the Heat. It's just what happened. But this trade worked out perfectly for both. Both Julius Randle, or both the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Pacers. And I just wanted to shout out. And I wanted to, because I don't think I did a good job with that when we talked about the Warriors and Timberwolves series. Julius Randle, in my opinion, was probably the main reason why the Timberwolves advanced. Oh man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.